Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The Back to the Future films are among the most cherished movie trilogies in cinematic history, and as far as I can remember, they have been my favorite movies of all time. No pun intended. How's it going, everyone? This is Lemire here. I hope all of you guys are having a good day and are managing to stay well during this stir-crazy period of COVID-19. I can definitely say it's been difficult, just trying to stay sane and well-balanced and everything, but the most important thing that we can all do is just stay active and stay well and, continue to give back to the community in whatever way we can, even if it's a small way. This is definitely a difficult time for all of us, but we all just got to stay strong. Anyway, so for today's video, I want to do something a little bit differently today because of the pandemic. You can't really go out anywhere, and the places you can go, it's kind of limited, and there are still some restrictions. So I think today I'm going to do a vlog at home today, and now that I have a little bit of time, it's one that I've wanted to commit to for a while. So as the title of the video suggests, and as you can see behind me, I would like to show off my Back to the Future DeLorean time machine collection. So I hope you guys enjoy today's video. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I've been a big fan of Back to the Future ever since I was a little kid, and I am obviously to this day, and very passionate about the trilogy as they are one of the film series that definitely got me into loving film and special effects and everything. And to this day, my dream car is to have a DeLorean. Maybe not a time machine, but a DeLorean DMC-12, which is the car that is used as the basis. But I'm thinking for today's video, we'll start looking at this end of the collection with some of the smaller cars that I have. And these are Hot Wheels DeLoreans. And the very first one I believe I got was this one, which is just a normal 1981 DeLorean DMC-12. Let me get the camera to focus on that a little bit. But I remember I first saw this, and I think it was like around Christmas a couple years ago. I was probably like 15 or something, and I saw this, and I was like, I have to have this. It's a beautiful, classic stainless steel DeLorean, and no time machine modifications to it, but this is still one of my favorites. So this is just from the normal Hot Wheels line. And then the next one I got is just a black DeLorean. Like, this is a rare sight to see. It's kind of hard to see that right now, but yeah, it's a black Hot Wheels 1981 DeLorean. Same stuff, just black. And the only thing on the DeLorean that opens is actually the louver. I won't do it right now, but this is where this actually this louver, this slanted part actually does open up. And then the last DeLorean I got, which is actually a Back to the Future DeLorean time machine, is when it's in flight mode with the hover conversion and everything. So I think I saw this. I don't know where I was. I don't know if I was in New Jersey or something, but I saw this DeLorean and I was like, I gotta get that. I'm like, I gotta add that to the collection. And as you can see here, this car still rolls even though it's got the illusion of the wheels being turned down. This rolls pretty perfectly, so that's pretty cool. So those are the Hot Wheels DeLoreans, and definitely the smallest of the group. Okay, the next DeLorean I have is actually a custom build. This is built completely out of Lego and is a custom DeLorean based off the DeLorean from Part 1. As you can see, it's got the lightning hook, the lightning rod to capture the lightning bolt that gives it the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity to travel through time. And it's also got the little, I tried to include the little plutonium chamber on the back. But I tried to, it's not the best representation, but it's supposed to be, on a small scale, supposed to be very representative of the DeLorean time machine. And as a complement to this, I built the Ecto one from Ghostbusters, because like you got to have the two best movie cars of the 1980s right next to each other. So that's what I did. Next DeLorean I have is also another custom build. This is all built from own parts. This is just a normal looking DeLorean DMC-12. And you guys can laugh at me if you want, but this actually does fit minifigures inside, and it does have gull wing doors that open. I tried to incorporate that into there, and I built this when I was very young, or not very young, but quite a few years ago. And I tried to, I built it originally, I believe, as a time machine. But then I was like, you know what, it would be kind of cool to have a regular DeLorean, because, as you'll see with the next one, I got the official Lego DeLorean that was released a couple years ago. So then I turned my custom DeLorean time machine into a normal DeLorean, and I put the out-of-time license plate on the back. So that's that. That's that DeLorean. And then, like I said before, it does fit minifigures inside, but, you know, it's more of a display piece along with the Lego DeLorean. These are display pieces on my shelf. And without further ado, let's talk about the actual DeLorean. So this is the official Lego DeLorean that was released by Koos, or Kusu, or I don't know how to pronounce the name of the line, but that's essentially, it's under a different name now, but it's essentially the line that where Lego takes ideas, they take idea requests, and when they reach a certain number, then they turn that Lego idea into an actual set. I think it actually, I believe the line is actually called Lego Ideas, where it actually turns someone's original creation into an officially licensed Lego product, and I think that's awesome. And that's what they did with the DeLorean Time Machine. And the moment that they released this set, I was like, I gotta get this. And I was so happy, and I think I received this for either my birthday or Christmas. I'm not really sure. But when I did, I was so happy. And the awesome thing is it comes with a Lego version of Doc Brown and Marty McFly, and I think that's just great. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And so what's awesome about this DeLorean is in the actual set, it gives you different pieces to actually make it look like the different versions of the time machine throughout the trilogy. So, and if you're going for the Part 2 look, which is what I kind of have right now with the little Mr. Fusion on top and stuff, these wheels do actually fold down. I won't flip them here, but I'll do one of them to give you an idea. So you can actually flip down all the wheels to kind of give that hover conversion look. And this is a really cool display piece that I believe comes with transparent bricks, so you can make it look like it's actually flying. It gives that effect of flight. And I definitely have to say this is definitely one of my favorite pieces. It's not, when you look at it, like, if you're trying to compare detail for detail to the actual DeLorean time machine, obviously there's going to be, you can only do so much at this scale with this size of car, but you know, it's kind of limited. Let me show you the back, because I don't think I showed you that yet, but that's what the back of the car looks like. The doors do open up on this, I believe. Yeah. I have to admit, the doors are one thing that I don't really like about this car. They're just not really the most what's the word, like, well reinforced. They can easily break off, but I think what this car makes up for is some of the interior details, and it's very hard to see. I might have to hold this up to the light, but if you can see back there, there's the flux capacitor, which is a brick that has that flux capacitor decal on it. And as you know, as people may know, the flux capacitor is what makes time travel possible. Now moving back to some of the die-cast models, or the solid models. This is the 1/24th scale DeLorean, based off the DeLorean from the end of Part 1 going into Part 2. And the feature of all these DeLoreans that are made by Welly is that they have these gull wing doors. And even for a 1/24th scale, these are incredibly detailed cars, and as you can see, they got the time circuits and the dashboard and all the dials and stuff. And if you hold it just right, you might be able to catch the flux capacitor, which is not painted, it's just a plastic piece put back there. But that's honestly one of the really cool parts. And coming around here, you can see that
This is all molded. The cables and stuff are molded, but then it's got the flux bands that come around, and I think that's honestly very impressive for being able to achieve that at such a small scale. And when you turn the car around, you can see some of the other stuff on the back of the car. It's got the Mr. Fusion right there, and here's some of the equipment on the back. Got the wormhole emitter on top. And then coming around the back, you got obviously the famous big cooling towers. And then one thing I've noticed about this car that's a mistake is the license plate. And with the DeLoreans from Back to the Future's Part 2 and 3, even the next model I show also does not have the correct license plate as well. And but the DeLoreans from Part 2 and 3 have this orange bar license plate, and the Lego model I just showed created a Lego piece that allows you to put that on. But that's what the license plate as a sticker should look like. So it should look like that, and not be the classic out of time license plate on the DeLorean from Part 1. But this is Welly's model, and I'm very impressed with it again for it being at 1/24th scale. Here is the box that it came in. It's been a little bit damaged, and really wish I could have preserved it, but I think when I first opened it, I was really eager to get it out of the box. But I decided to keep the packaging anyway. That way, I could keep it somewhere where I could keep this DeLorean safe, or at least relatively safe. Here's the back of the box with some images from the movie, as well as a description. You can pause the video if you want to read that, but you don't have to. So it's got some other DeLorean artwork here on the back. And then on the bottom side of the box is shows just some more instructions, warnings, and like information about the car, and then showing some of the features such as attaching the Mr. Fusion, as well as the opening gull-wing doors. And then here are the other DeLoreans, the Back to the Future ones in particular, that are part of this collection. And obviously the one I have is the one in the center. I like all three. Each DeLorean, or at least each iteration of the DeLorean, is unique. It's got its own unique characteristics, but the one from Part 2 will always have a special place in my heart. And before I move on to the last two DeLoreans, I do want to cover one that's actually an incomplete DeLorean. I haven't even touched this. This is really bad. This is a plastic kit of a DeLorean that you can assemble. It's a snap together, and this is 1/25th scale, so it's just slightly smaller than that DeLorean, than the Welly one. But essentially, this is full of parts in which you can construct the DeLorean from Back to the Future. And this is what it should look like. So this is, I believe, is the DeLorean. Oh, so you can actually, I have not really looked at this package, so I'm kind of looking at this for the first time. But it says you can actually put in either the lightning rod hook with the plutonium chamber, or you can put in the Mr. Fusion. And then here are some of the other models that come from this line of cars. So there's the description, and that's what the car should look like once it's complete. Hopefully, when I have a little bit more time, I'll be able to commit to something like this. But that would be really cool to build. Yeah, but I figured since I'm doing a collection, I might as well show off every DeLorean that's part of this collection. All right. Now we're moving on to the last two DeLoreans that I have as part of this collection. And now we're coming to what I believe is probably my favorite one out of all of these DeLoreans. This is the 1/18th scale Sunstar series, based off the DeLorean time machine from Part 2. And when I say this is stainless steel, I mean this is stainless steel. This is made out of pure stainless steel, and is actually quite heavy. Whoa, this is heavy. Yeah, no joke. It actually is very heavy. This is my favorite DeLorean because of all the features that come with this car. Not only does it have the gull-wing doors, which do stay open. Wow, of course, one does have to close. So they do have the stainless, excuse me, not stainless steel, but the gull-wing doors that open. And I will pull this out so you can get a better picture. a better view of what the details look like. This is a little bit more detailed than the Welly car. It's so you got a little bit more room to put in some details. As you can see, that everything on the back I think is much more accurate to the movie. As you can see, there's the Mr. Fusion, and see if we can get a glimpse of the flux capacitor. I can pull it. Oh, yep. There it is. And I think, oh, that one's actually painted gold. Painted gold. No, I'm kidding. So, yeah, that's essentially that. The dashboard, as I said, is incredibly detailed on this. Now, here's one of the other cool features about this car, is that the front trunk opens. And here's the inside. Now, before any of you say, wait, where's the engine? Well, DeLoreans were built as rear-engined cars. So the engine's technically back here underneath all the time travel equipment. And so you can store your personal belongings and also fill up your car with gas in the front trunk. So it's very much like the old Volkswagen Beetle, where you can put stuff in the front. But now we're getting to my favorite moment, or favorite feature about this car. So beneath this car, there is a small lever that you can pull. I'm going to need to set this camera aside so I can show exactly what you can do here. So beneath this car, it may be hard to tell, but there is a small switch that's under there. I don't know if you can see it, but right where my finger is, right where my fingertip is pointing, there is a small little notch right here, and when you pull it, there go the wheels. They flip down, and now your DeLorean is in the flight mode. And this is honestly so impressive. And this is the reason why I wanted to get this DeLorean, was more specifically for this for this flight feature, because none of my other DeLoreans could do this. And the fact to be able to have a DeLorean that could do this is awesome. And so I've been so cautious with this car every time that I've handled it, because this is made out of pure stainless steel, just as the real car is. And it's got this really awesome feature that you got to be really careful when you're handling it. So I'll put that back here and keep it in the flight mode. So here's the box that it came in. This is a much larger box, and you can see it's got the Sunstar logo and Back to the Future logo and details and stuff. Here's the graphics on top of the box. And what's cool about the 1/18th scale car, there's the side of the box, as well as the back of the box, if you want to pause the video again and read that and look at the images. What's really cool about this is that this, on the inside, I've kept the stand out. I did not bring it, but this is there's a stand that you can actually display your car on, and I think that's honestly so awesome. And for a little bit of time, I actually did put my DeLorean on top of my dresser with this stand on it, you know, just as a complete nerd should do. But yeah, that's I've kept it in storage for a while. That's why most of the boxes in some of these models have accumulated a little bit of dust. But that's pretty much that. That's this is the 1/18th scale Sunstar DeLorean. It is definitely the highlight of my collection. Now we're on to the very last DeLorean, which is the Diamond Select Toys DeLorean. This is the one from part 1. Diamond Select Toys, I think, made 3 DeLoreans. They made one from each iteration, so from either part 1, part 2, or part 3. This is the DeLorean from part 1, and I actually bought this at a comic book shop. It was a used product. Someone I used to swim with a long time ago I believe was also a big fan of Back to the Future, and happened to have one of these DeLoreans that he brought to a swim meet. And this is when I was a little bit younger. I asked him where he got it, and it was the comic book store that I just referred to. And so literally, like, within a matter of days, I went to go pick up the DeLorean, and I found he still had another one in at the store. They had another one in stock that I could buy. And so here is the interior of the 1/6 scale DeLorean. This one has definitely significantly a lot more detail. It's kind of hard to see the flux capacitor, but I'll pull around the other side to show you the rest of the dashboard. So there are the time circuits. there, there's dashboard, time circuits, all of that. And here's the back. So the only feature on this car is, I mean, in terms of like doors and stuff, is obviously the gull wing doors, and then, but this is a battery operated toy. I consider it a toy. It's very nice because younger kids can play with it, and but I keep it as a part of my collection. I've been storing it in my closet, so that's why it's kind of dusty here. But the really cool thing about this is battery operated, so it makes lights and sounds, and I think it may sound silly that I'm showing this off, but I honestly think it's probably one of the coolest features of this car, because obviously none of the other models make any noises or sounds, but this guy is the only one that does. So I think that's what sets it apart from the others. So without further ado, let's turn this baby on. Oh, I think it's already on. So let's turn this baby on and see what she does. All right. So when you press, the button is right here. It's this giant thing that sticks up right behind the wormhole emitter. So if you press this button, it makes different sounds. So that's the DeLorean when it's driving up somewhere, or if it's having just come out of I guess out of the time travel, the wormhole. It's when it's accelerating up to 88 miles per hour. That's when it's coming out of look at that. See, look at the flux bands lighting up. That's when it's coming out of time travel. This is when it's stalling. You can see the flux capacitor in the back actually lights up. That's pretty impressive. Look at that. That's cool. I believe that's when plutonium gauges are low. I'm sorry. I know too much about Back to the Future, but that's yeah. That sound is a very distinct sound for the DeLorean to make. That's the gull wing door sound effect, which is still one of the coolest sounds that the car makes. That's I think putting into the keypad, and I believe when see, I don't know if you can briefly saw that, but when it makes that sound, the dashboard, the keypad where you put in the time and where you want to travel to actually. All that stuff lights up, which I think is still pretty cool. That's why it's not as detailed, is because it's meant to light up, just have little glowing colored lights. Oh, that's such a cool sound. I believe that was the very first sound that the DeLorean ever made in the movie, when Marty realizes what he's about to witness, and as the car and its plutonium chambers start up. And I believe that's it. So there's obviously these sounds are programmed into this model, and so it's provided with a variety of sounds, and I think that's really impressive. All right, guys, that's going to be it. I really enjoyed showing off my Back to the Future DeLorean collection. It's I know it's kind of geeky and stuff, but I have a passion for the Back to the Future trilogy. Again, it was the movies. They were the movies that gave me a passion for all things in film, and obviously gave me the car of my dreams. And so I just thought, again, something a little bit different, especially during these really uncertain times during COVID-19, and we all need just a little bit of positivity and a little bit of hope, and just even though we're kind of limited to the activities we can do, I'd try something a little bit differently today, and hopefully I'll get back out into the world and start making some more vlogs. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and as always, to get more content like this, remember to tune in same Matt time, same Matt channel. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care, and have a good rest of your day.